Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. This is day 2 of military week, I guess. We're going to be doing pack 9 of the Agora Models release of build the SAS Jeep Willys. Now, unlike normal, where I go into these things blind and haven't got a clue what we're doing, obviously I have to go onto the Agora Models website to check, the instructions, make sure they're on there, make sure I can download them and all that. There's a fair bit to do today, so I don't know how long this is going to take. So I will let you know how long it takes at the end of this video. Everything is all ready to go, all wrapped up in their individual paper containers here. So we're going to work through that today. You want to get this for yourself. It's available for Agora Models and the link's in the video description. You've also got that QR code on the screen there as well. But without further ado, let's get cracking. I've taken that jacket off. It's very hot in the workshop today. Okay, so we're going to be starting with stage 63. And as you can see, everything is in here in its packaging. Get all of this out. And here is stage 63. Get this open. Okay. So, first thing we're going to need is this part here. Let's just move all of these parts to the other side. And I want to bring over what we finished up working on in the last pack. And if you remember, we had just put this battery cover into place. So we are having it this way round. We're going to be working on this side just here. And quite simply, this is just going to be fitting in just like that. Now I'm holding it in through the top there with a BM screw. So put that in a bit of oil because it is metal. That's in place. I'm just looking at the other side here. In the instructions, they've already got this cable going through the hole here. I can't remember if it's told me to do that. So I'm going to make sure that my cable is through the hole as well. Okay, on top of this section, as you can see there, we've got another panel to put in. Now, this one is hinged, as you can see there. So this is like a storage component. It's going to go in this way, just like that. Now this time these are held in with 2 DM screws, but these are the colour-coded DM screws. So one there and one on the other side. So now that's in, as you can see, that can open and close. Okay, we can put this whole thing to one side because we're going to be creating another pan magazine. These can be quite fiddly, I have to say. So first thing I want to do, just take this top, we've done this before, and put this in here. Now there is a hole that we're going to be screwing this into, so I need to make sure that that's lined up. So that's going to go that way round. Open up these RP screws here, very tiny screws, and screw that into place at the bottom here. Then I've got this handle to put on, so I can put that in one side here and the other side. So there you go, that's the top done. Now once again on the bottom section here I've got a clip to put on. We did do this in the last pack, so make sure that's all the way in there like that. And then this is where the fun comes in. We are going to be doing this twice. I believe we do this in the next stage as well. So what I'm going to do is in the next stage just skip over this, because you don't need to see me doing this like 1,000 times. Put this sticky in the middle there. And then take the adhesive backing off. So once again, I can cut off these shells. And basically we're just going to be putting them inside here, 12 of them. So you get the idea, that's how that's going to look. I want to put the top on by lining up this notch with the hole. And then make sure that clips all the way over. And there we go. Everything I just put in there, you're never going to see again unless you take it off. But with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. So stage 64 is pretty much an exact mirror of what we've just done. So once again, I'm going to be taking this section, putting that in there. I am going to whiz through it this time. Screw it in with a BM screw. Turn it over. Get the colour-coded hatch there with the screws. Once again, these are the DM screws here. Perfect, just check that opens and closes. Put that to one side. And once again, I'm going to be making another pan magazine. putting that top in to make sure it's in the correct way, because there is a locating lug on there, as you can see. And then put the notch in here to close this up, and there we go. That's another pan magazine complete. Okay, in stage 65 we're going to be fitting the rear reinforcement frame and footrests. Bring over this section again, and I'm going to be putting this into place on here. So it's actually going to be going on here like this, and with these CP screws I'm going to be holding that in on this side. So one there, and one on this side here. Now, in the point here, which you can see on the top camera, I've got this cover to go on, which actually goes in here just like that. Grab a CP screw, because you've guessed it, we're going to be holding that in from this side here. And now I want to take one of these brackets. One of these brackets has got a flat side, and one side is slightly indented with a lip there. It's the lip side that I want, because I'm going to be pushing in this rolling pin looking thing, which goes on there. And then on the other side, I'm going to take another bracket, and again with the indent this time facing this way. So both indented sides are facing towards the middle. That's going to make that little thing there. Obviously, it's a roller thing of some description. I don't know what it is. But let's get both of these in. So we've made two of those. And now these are actually going to be going into here. So one there and one there. And as you can probably guess, 4 screws for each one to hold this into place. So if I keep it on its side and put one in, that should be enough to ensure that they don't fall out. So that's 2 in. So now I can put the other 6 in at my leisure. Or if you're in the US, my leisure. Okay, let's get all these in. So as you can see, this is the last screw going in here. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 66, this looks a bit fiddly. I'm going to be assembling 50 caliber ammunition belt. So, okay. Look at this. This looks pretty cool. So first things first, I need to cut off every single shell on here. So let's get these off. Okay, this is going to be interesting. What I want to do, this grooved part that we've got here, I need to peel off one side of this strip. It comes in 2 little halves. So here we go. This is one side. I want to put this on here with the sticky side facing up, which is going to be a little bit difficult. Probably the best way to do this is to line up one end. Make sure this is the right way round. So when I put the cartridges in, it's going to be the right way round. So the strip is actually going into the groove like this. This is then going to go in here like that. And then that, once I push this in, it should enable me, if I can, I need something to weigh this down, to start putting other ones in as well. Let's put one in at the end here. Wow, this is fiddly. No one's telling you how fiddly this actually is. Now I've got them in there, it should be easy to put the rest in now without this moving. And then I'll press it down afterwards. My logic here is that the weight of these shells is going to stop this moving. They certainly want to give you a challenge today though, don't they? I just zoomed up there. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. The funny thing is, once we've got that, what we're supposed to be able to do, I'm going to push them down to make sure that, you know, these aren't coming out. I've got to sort of like pick them up from this now and move this along the line. So basically we're working on doing a whole belt. I'm aware that one's fallen out there. Not too worried about that at the moment. I will just ensure that I've got one to put in its place in a second. Well, there you go, they're all in. That was crazy. Now I don't think that's going to hold, I'll be honest with you. And I'm sure it's going to need gluing. I think that's probably the best way. Now if you're wondering where all the rest of your cartridges are, they're all here. They came in different packs. So you had some in pack 49, pack 50, pack 51, pack 50. They're all over the place. So I'm just going to continue cutting all of these off and continue along this edge here. You know, that took me blinking ages. I only used this up to about there, and then I did these freehand. I think actually freehand is a lot easier than using this. What I'm going to do now is take the other side of this sticker off. And I'm going to be lying this over the top, which should hopefully piece all of this into place. What I'm going to do is stick these two parts together here so that they don't move. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. That is hard. So we're going to save this part, and now this I'm going to leave to one side. I don't want to touch that. I'm just nervous about even looking at it, to be honest with you. So in stage 67 we're going to be doing the rear seat. So let's open this up. What I want to do is take this part that we had from the last stage, and we're going to be putting these together. So the way this is going to go, holding this just like this is going to be going on top this way round, just here. It's going to be held in with CP screws. So that's how that's looking. Bring over this back section here now, because I get to put this into place. And it's going to go on top of all the wires that we've got here. So it's actually hiding a lot of these wires. So when I put this down, I want to make sure I'm not pinching any of the wires, because I'm about to put a screw through the bottom, which is basically these CM screws. Hold that into place there and get these in. So I've got one in. That's going to make putting the other one in easy. And just while I'm putting this one in, I just want to explain something to you. If you remember in the last stage, I had problems keeping this part in. It just kept falling out. What I did was I applied some heat here and just pulled this tab back a bit. And as you can see now, when this goes in, it's a tight fit, so that can't fall out now. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 68, I'm going to be fitting the left crash pad. And as you can see, I've got another jerry can here. So you know what I'm like with jerry cans. We've built about 70 of these now. Let's go and just put this together, because this won't take long. I know we're going to be building some jerry cans again in the next few stages. So what I'm going to do is just show you them and just get on with it, I think, because we've done so many. Putting it together, DP screws. Put these blankers in to hide the screws. Just like that. And then just put this handle in. And finally, the cap. That's how you make a jerry can. Okay. Open these DM screws. And I only need 2 of these. These are crash pads apparently. And they're going to be going on this side over here. So they look like that. So I'm holding them in with these screws. And there you go. With that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the next stage, you've pretty much guessed it, we're going to be doing exactly the same thing, but for the other side. So I'll quickly build the jerry can. There you go. That's the jerry can done. Bring this over again. This time, this one is going to be going on this side over here, like that. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, stage 70, a bigger pack now. Things are going to get a little bit fiddly because we've got electrics. We do have this as well. The thing with the electrics is obviously this is a switch. So I'm just checking all the electrics are okay. They're not touching already. Okay, we're good with this. We also have a circuit board. So this time, if I just move this over here, this is what we're going to be working on. Now this switch is going to be going behind the brake pedal here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to try and show you on the close-up that we've got a locating lug in here. That's going to go in that side, so then the switch can go in this side just here. Now I'm holding that in with a CP screw. Now I know another big question everyone keeps asking me on the channel is, am I going to weather this? Yes, I am going to be weathering this. So you know, I am waiting till I've finished it though. There you go, that's into place there. I'm also aiming to put this in a diorama. So what will happen is when I'm actually pushing the brake pedal, you see it's going to make the switch have contact there. So I don't know if you can see that. Perfect. Now with this section, if I turn this upside down, I'm hoping it will hold itself there. That's good. We're going to be putting the circuit board in here. So if I have it this way round, I'm going to want the circuit board with C and D at the top. So it's actually going to be going this way round here, so that C and D are on this side. I'm holding them in with JM screws. It's actually 4 JM screws, which is going to hold all of this in. There you go, that's in. Now, this cable here, 70B, that's actually going to be plugged into B. So there you go, that's in place. Now, this cable here, which is 61I, that's actually going to be put into socket D, which is there. 61J here is going to go into socket E. We're not doing anything with this one yet. It's quite a short cable actually, which is 61E. We're not doing anything with that. Okay, let's put this to one side. Bring over this section once again. And what I'm going to want to do is put this cage into place, which is actually just going to go on here like that. Now I'm going to be holding them in with RM screws. So one there and one here. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 71, I'm going to be fitting the body, that sounds good, and the right jerry can. So let's just get this open. Got the other cage here. Bring this section back over again, turn it upside down. So I've got the circuit board here. Have it the way we had it last time. So plug wire 71B, they're saying, into socket A. I had this socket here in the wrong cable then. So socket A is here. So we should have things in socket A and B now. And then it gets so confusing, isn't it? So this wire here, 71A, is actually going to go into socket G, which is right there. Lots of electrics. Now let me just open this one because we've got a cable clips in here. So what I want is wires 61J and I, which are these two. And I also want sockets 70B and 71B, which I believe is this one. They're all coming out through the front here. The only one that isn't is this one here. So these are the ones that are going to be trapped between the posts here, like this. So it's going to keep them into place. So I'll grab a clip. I'm trying to guide this down here. So I can clip this into place over here. There you go, that clips in there looking just like that. Now I want to be connecting these two labelled wires here. So 61E down here is going to go to 61E just here. So just slot these together. Now what I want to do with this 61E is route this wire through here. And what I want is I want it like that. Now I'm just working on wire tidy here, so what I'm going to do is do my own thing here, but once again I'm going to be putting these wires just in here and clip these into place. What I'm going to do then is make sure that that wire that's going up the top there is routed through. So I've got another clip here. The lug side of the clip goes into the smaller hole, just so you know. So that's that one in there. And then finally, I've just got this other clip here to put in this side, which is going to keep this wire here under control. There you go. It's kind of kept that nice and tidy. What I'm going to do then is put what we've got here, just lift these parts up, into the frame here. Now to do this, what we want to do is put the frame on top of this. So I'm just going to guide this in, just like this. And there you go. That's fit absolutely perfect in there. Now let's open these BM screws, because this now is going to bring everything together. So I'll start getting these screws in. The other screws you can probably see on the top cover in this green section, just here and here. That'll keep that side in as well. So that interior is going nowhere now. Excellent. So there you go. That is in place, looking good, isn't it? Once again, we're going to be putting this into place on here, just like that there. And once again, this is RM screws. Excellent. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's looking really good. So the last two stages look quite quick actually. Stage 72, we're fitting the steering wheel. So this will be a case of just taking this shaft here and having it this way round and putting this side in through the bottom there, through the hole, just hopefully you can see it on the close-up camera there, through this hole here. So there we go. That's what we're going to be attaching the steering wheel to. We're going to be doing that with a DM screw. This will stop it fitting back in itself. Steering wheel goes on this way. Now it is a D-shaped pattern, so again it can only go in one way like that. Let's get this screw in so that can't come out now. Nice. And then in this little pack here, once I open it, I've got this little cap to go in the middle, which is going to hide that screw. Had to use my hammer there just to get that in, but in it is, as you can see. That's all there is to do in that stage. So last stage of this pack is we're going to be fitting a speaker and jerry can apparently. So we've got wire 62A now. If I just take this over and bring it upside down. Now 62A, if you remember, is the one that was coming from the battery, this one here. That's going to go into socket F for Freddy. There we go, that's in. Again, just put that to one side while I grab the speaker here. And again, I'm just checking the terminals are all working. That looks good. This is actually going to go into the cavity here. Just got to get this the right way round. Now I've got these GP screws here, which are flange screws, which are actually going to hold that speaker into place with the lip of the flange. So one this side and one this side just here. And again, bringing this over, we can plug 73B in. This is going to be plugged into socket A. Right, the instructions are actually wrong here. What we want to do is say and plug it into socket A, but we've already got 71B into A. Now the pictures are actually telling me to put this into the one at the top here, which is C. So I'm going to be putting that into C, not A. I will let Agora Models know that, but I believe 73B goes into socket C. Now we're not actually using that port there, so I'm about to put this together. We're going to have these wires coming out the bottom here. All the wires we want to be coming out this side just here, and that is going to be how that goes on. I'm holding that in with DM screws. I am hoping that's right. I think that's right. It makes sense that that's right. Now it's saying we can test this, so I'm going to get some AAA batteries, put these in here, 1 and 2. I'll put the clip back on and switch this to the on position. We're on now. And if I turn this over, so if I press the left button here, we got the horn, press the right button here, I'm guessing all the lights come on, which they do, as you can see just there. Nice. Also, I'm guessing if I push the brake pedal, I'm just going to try that, it's hard to get my finger in there, the brakes should come on. Let's do that. Yep, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, they go lighter. Perfect, everything is working. That's good. Okay, I've got these brackets here now. If I just put this on its side, we're going to be putting these into place. These are going to go on the side just here. So I'm holding them in with SM screws. So that's in place. I'm going to do the same on the other side over here. That's good. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That looks pretty good. Absolutely love it. Now I'm guessing we can put the jerry cans in here. I'm guessing that's where they're going to go. I don't know. Let's put them in that way. I can always take them out again afterwards, but you get the idea. Excellent. So what I've got is these two parts here I'm going to keep safe. This, really hoping it's not going to come apart, I'm going to put safe. And then just in terms of storage, I am just going to try and put this together somehow. And then I'm guessing this would probably go on there. That's going to look good. But that is where we're up to at the moment. I mean, that is looking very good. I've got to do what I've been doing lately. Let's bring it up for you here so you can see it. Some fiddly parts there, putting all of those shells on that oh god, that was just a nightmare. Recording time 1 hour 36 minutes. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.